Have you ever noticed how some women hold a quiet kind of power? The kind that draws others in without effort, without trying to impress, without playing any games. There's something about them that goes beyond beauty, beyond charm. They seem anchored in an invisible strength that can't be shaken. When she walks into a room, the air itself feels different, not because she's asking for attention, but because she carries an energy that has already faced life's storms and found peace on the other side. That's emotional maturity. And it isn't about being calm all the time or never feeling pain. It's born from pain. A woman like this has faced her own darkness and learned its language. She doesn't run from her fears or push them onto others. She doesn't try to control or be controlled. Because she understands something simple yet powerful: love can't be forced, it can only be invited. She's learned how old wounds can disguise themselves as desire, how loneliness can pretend to be love, how the need to be chosen can slowly eat away at self-worth. There was a time when she mistook attachment for affection, validation for love. Like many do, she once played out old patterns, searching for in others what she hadn't yet given herself. But every heartbreak became a mirror, showing her where she had left herself behind. Each disappointment stripped away another illusion. Slowly, painfully, she began to see that the real enemy was never rejection. It was self-forgetting. You might know that feeling too. The deep need to be understood. The quiet fear of being unseen. It's human to want to be recognized. But when that desire turns desperate, it becomes the very thing that pushes love away. The more we try to find our missing pieces in someone else, the more lost we become. But she no longer falls for that illusion. She's done the inner work. She's faced the part of herself that was still waiting to be chosen. And instead of leaving it behind again, she stayed. That's where real growth begins. When you finally stop running from yourself, when you stop expecting others to heal what only you can face, from that stillness grows a new kind of beauty, one that no charm, no makeup, no perfection can match. This beauty feels real. It speaks to something ancient in all of us, the part that recognizes wisdom and truth when we see it. In old stories, she would be the goddess who journeys into darkness and returns with light. In life today, she's the woman who knows that boundaries aren't walls, that forgiveness doesn't mean accepting abuse, and that love starts with the courage to stand alone. Maybe that's why she's so magnetic. Not because she fulfills fantasy, but because she calls others to rise to her level of truth. Just by existing, she challenges people. Her presence says, "Don't come to me to be completed. Come to me when you've met yourself." To someone who hasn't faced their own pain, she's intimidating. To someone who has, she feels like home. Her power doesn't come from manipulation or seduction. It comes from peace. She's not hard or cold. Her strength is soft and steady, built from truth. Like the Stoics taught, she knows that real control isn't about what happens outside of you. It's about how you meet it. She's been shaped by life's friction, polished by trial and reflection. Her wisdom isn't something she read, it's something she lived. And if you listen closely, her silence says everything. It's the sound of someone who trusts herself. That's her secret. She doesn't need to be chased or convinced. She's already whole. Most women spend their early years trying to be chosen, making themselves smaller, softer, easier to love. They learn to smile through pain, to hide anger, to call self-sacrifice a virtue. Society rewards that and calls it kindness. But deep inside, an ancient voice whispers, "This is not who you are." The emotionally mature woman is the one who finally listens. Unlearning who you were told to be feels like dying. And in a way, it is. The death of the false self, the mask we wear to fit in. For years, she might have worn that mask, trying to earn love through achievement, beauty, or being enough. But the more she chased approval, the further she drifted from her real self. Then one day, the mask cracks through heartbreak, betrayal, or exhaustion. And she sees it clearly. The love she was chasing was only a reflection of the love she hadn't given herself. To face yourself fully means facing everything you were told to hide: your anger, your passion, your ambition, your grief. It's terrifying at first, but every part of you deserves to be seen. To deny them is to live half a life. The mature woman integrates them all, and in doing so becomes whole. You can see it in her eyes. There's a calmness that can't be faked. When she speaks, her words come from presence, not performance. She doesn't rush to fill silence. She lets it breathe. Her empathy isn't naive. She knows where her responsibility ends and another's begins. That's the shift from codependency to self-leadership. She knows relationships can become a stage for old wounds to repeat themselves. But she steps off that stage. She doesn't chase the unavailable or tolerate the emotionally mature. Instead of asking, "Why doesn't he love me?" she asks, "Why do I stay where love doesn't grow?" That question changes everything. She stops waiting to be rescued. She becomes the hero of her own story. And once that happens, everything about her energy shifts. When you no longer need someone to complete you, you attract from fullness, not from lack. Love becomes a meeting of equals, not a healing project. True emotional maturity is the discipline of thought. It's the ability to pause before reacting, to feel without being consumed. It doesn't mean suppressing emotion. It means honoring it without letting it rule you. She's learned the art of stillness, holding both joy and sorrow without clinging to either. Think of the ocean in a storm, wild on the surface, but calm in its depths. That's her. The winds may rage, but she remains centered. That's presence, and that's what makes her so captivating. To be near her is to feel seen, not judged, not flattered, just seen. Her love doesn't consume, it expands. Her gaze doesn't demand, it invites. When a man meets such a woman, he stands before a mirror of his own potential. She doesn't mother him or shrink to make him feel larger. She holds steady. She invites him to rise. And if he refuses, she lets go peacefully. Her peace is not for sale, because she's learned that the purpose of love is not to lose yourself, but to find yourself more deeply. That truth alone makes her glow differently. She has turned her pain into understanding, her longing into clarity. And though she still feels deeply, her emotions no longer control her. There's something powerful about a woman who has faced her own darkness and made peace with it. She doesn't hide her scars or rewrite her story. They become part of her presence, like golden threads in an ancient tapestry. She doesn't talk about being strong, she simply is. Her grace isn't a performance, it's real. It comes from knowing how fragile life can be and how strong the soul truly is. The path to wholeness isn't about becoming perfect. It's about learning to hold both the light and the dark, strength and softness, reason and emotion, all inside the same heart. The emotionally mature woman has walked this path, often through fire she never asked for. She's met her inner strength and learned to balance it. Where once she looked for safety in others, she now creates it within herself. Where once she needed approval, she now gives herself grounding, her inner harmony. The marriage of power and sensitivity gives her an energy that feels whole. And that wholeness is what draws people to her. To stand near her is to feel the balance of calm and strength living side by side. She doesn't need to prove her worth by overpowering or surrendering. She's outgrown both. She moves through life like a river, strong, not because it fights, but because it flows. Her calm isn't passive, it's practiced, it's mastery. And mastery is never free, it's earned through pain. Emotional maturity is born from chaos. Every heartbreak, rejection, every sleepless night wondering why she wasn't enough, all of it became the fire that shaped her depth. Through those moments, she realized it's not what happens to you that defines you, but how you respond. She stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What is this teaching me?" That's the moment real change begins. She learned that no one escapes being broken open. The difference is she chose to rebuild with awareness. And in doing so, she discovered something vital. That pain, when faced with courage, turns into wisdom. It's the quiet transformation that happens inside when opposites are brought into balance. She has done that work within herself. Her compassion comes from experience, not theory. She can sit with someone else's pain because she's faced her own and survived it. There's a stillness about her that unsettles those who aren't ready for truth. It's the stillness of someone who no longer chases. When you speak to her, she listens, not to answer, but to understand. Yet, if you try to deceive her, you'll meet the firm boundary of someone who knows her own worth. That mix of openness and discernment makes her magnetic. People sense she can't be fooled easily. She's already faced the illusions inside herself. She no longer blames others for her discomfort. Instead, she looks inward and asks what part of her still needs love. That kind of awareness is rare, and it shines through her. But don't mistake her calm for detachment. She feels everything, just without drowning in it. She can love deeply without losing herself, grieve fully without breaking, hope fiercely without delusion. She's learned the art of non-attachment, not as emotional distance, but as inner clarity. It's the freedom from letting emotions rule her. That balance between heart and mind, emotion and wisdom, is what makes her captivating. When she loves, it's with intention. When she gives, it's from fullness, not need. She doesn't mistake chemistry for connection or attention for affection. She knows the difference between being chosen and being respected, between attraction and alignment. In a world obsessed with appearances, her authenticity feels rebellious. She doesn't chase validation. Her worth is self-sustaining. She lives by a simple truth. What's real cannot be taken from you. To love her is to step into a space built on truth. That's why men who haven't faced themselves may find her intimidating. She reflects back what they've avoided seeing. To love her requires courage. She asks for presence, not performance. She won't settle for half love or half truth. She knows real intimacy means being seen without masks. For her, love isn't escape, it's revelation. She doesn't want to be completed. She wants to be met. What makes her irresistible isn't just her beauty, but her depth. She reminds you there's another way to live, not in reaction to life, but in relationship with it. Her energy pulls you inward, silently saying, "Become who you're meant to be." If you really look into her eyes, you'll see something ancient, the calm of someone who has faced her own abyss and found understanding instead of fear. Her stillness carries weight, a quiet call to rise above shallow desire. It's not that she's hard to love, it's that she cannot be loved halfway. Her soul demands honesty, depth, and mutual growth. She lives at a level where games can't survive. To the unready, this feels uncomfortable. To the awakened, it's magnetic. Because being with her means growing into your own wholeness. When two people truly meet at that level, both are transformed. That's what happens when a man meets an emotionally mature woman. Transformation. Her presence reflects who he truly is, not with judgment, but with clarity. She doesn't flatter or compete. She calls out his highest self, the part of him that knows how to love with integrity, empathy, and quiet strength. Her maturity awakens his own because she connects not to his image, but to his potential. To be loved by her is to be seen for who you could become, but she won't wait for you to catch up. Her love is patient, but never stagnant. She doesn't cling to potential, she honors reality. Her boundaries aren't walls, they're gates of self-respect. If you meet her there, she opens completely. If not, she closes the gate gently and walks away in peace. Because she knows leaving what doesn't align is also love, love for herself, and even for the other. This wisdom wasn't handed to her. She earned it. There were years when she mistook intensity for love, chemistry for destiny. Heartbreak taught her that desire without depth burns quickly and fades empty. From the ruins of those old stories, she rebuilt herself. Each time she broke, she found another layer of truth. Each ending became a teacher. Like the Japanese art of mending pottery with gold, she filled her cracks with honesty until the things that once hurt her became the source of her strength. Now, there's an elegance in how she moves through life. She doesn't rush. She chooses with intention, speaks with care. Her emotional intelligence isn't about reading people. It's about reading energy. She senses authenticity like a musician hears harmony. You can't fake it with her. She feels the truth before you speak. That's not magic. It's self-mastery. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer you become about others. That's her secret. She has turned her wounds into wisdom, her fear into awareness. And that's what makes her unforgettable. Where once she needed validation, now she looks for connection. Where once she feared being alone, she now treasures solitude as a place of renewal. This is the paradox of growth. The more complete you become, the less you depend on others, and yet, the more deeply you can love them. The Stoics would have admired her calm strength. They spoke about the freedom that comes from mastering your own mind. One of them said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." She lives by that truth. She cannot control what others say or do, but she chooses her response with grace. Her dignity is her armor. Her empathy is her strength. In her solitude, she has found peace, and that peace shines from her like sunlight through the cracks of her being. People feel safe around her, not because she offers comfort, but because she feels real. There is no act, no mask. She is both gentle and firm, able to surrender and to set boundaries. She can hold you when you fall apart, but she will not let herself drown in your chaos. Her empathy has edges now, edges shaped by experience and protected by self-respect. Yet she is not bitter. The mature woman does not lose faith in love. She redefines it. For her love is not about losing herself in someone else, but about meeting as equals. It's not about finding someone who completes her, but someone who complements her. She understands that every relationship is a mirror showing what still needs healing. When love ends, she no longer asks, "Why me?" She asks, "What was this here to teach me?" Her heart, once innocent, has grown wise. She no longer fears endings because she trusts in new beginnings. She knows that nothing real is ever lost. It simply changes form. Her maturity is not the absence of emotion, but the understanding of meaning. She has made peace with impermanence, understanding what one philosopher meant when he said, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." And so, she walks lightly through life, still capable of wonder, still open to love, but never again willing to lose herself. Her light no longer depends on who notices her. It comes from within. She has discovered the rare power of belonging to herself completely. And today, perhaps more than ever, the world needs women like her, women who have turned pain into wisdom, solitude into strength, and compassion into clarity. In a world obsessed with validation, the emotionally mature woman is quiet rebellion. She doesn't chase attention. She embodies meaning. She isn't addicted to approval because she has learned a deeper truth that everything external fades, but the inner life endures. In her presence, you feel stability. It's like standing before an ancient tree, rooted, alive, unshakable. Take away the decorations of her life, and she would still remain herself. Her worth no longer depends on her relationships, her looks, or her achievements. She enjoys them, yes, but she does not cling. She has faced loss and learned that nothing essential can be taken away. From that realization comes a quiet strength, a calm energy that draws others in, not out of need, but out of peace. This peace wasn't given to her. It was built. Through countless nights of reflection, through facing her fears and learning their language, she has made peace with her anger, her loneliness, her grief. She's discovered that even the darkest feelings carry wisdom when you listen closely. It's not about imagining light, but about understanding your own darkness. The emotionally mature woman is proof of that. She turned inward and found beneath the noise a deep stillness, the self. That self is the whole of who we are when we accept every part of ourselves. It's not the ego winning, it's the ego letting go. She lives from that center. Her choices come not from fear or pressure, but from alignment. And when you meet someone like that, you can feel it. It feels true. It feels like home. She has stopped performing for the world. She doesn't need to be the good girl or the strong woman anymore. She just is. The performance once drained her. Now, her strength is natural, her kindness effortless. She laughs easily because she no longer carries the weight of pretending. She cries freely because vulnerability no longer feels like weakness. Everything in her has softened, not from giving up, but from acceptance. This is what wholeness looks like when it's lived. It's not some distant spiritual idea. It's the courage to be real, to stop pretending to be perfect and to start being whole. Wholeness includes contradiction. She knows she can be fierce and kind, powerful and gentle. That balance is what makes her captivating. She has become the embodiment of integration, no longer broken into roles, but whole within herself. Now she gives from abundance. Her love, once an effort to be seen, has become a gift freely given. She loves not because she needs to, but because she chooses to. She forgives not to fix, but to free. She lets people go not from pride, but from peace. Her love is steady, her detachment graceful. She no longer mistakes surrender for weakness. She knows that true surrender is strength. It's accepting what is without losing yourself. In her presence, others begin to soften too. She becomes a mirror of possibility, to be kind without being naive, strong without being hard. She reminds us that wisdom isn't cynicism, it's clarity wrapped in compassion. To love her is to be invited into a higher kind of love, one that values growth over comfort, truth over illusion. And when she looks into your eyes, you feel it. She no longer seeks to be completed. She stands whole. That wholeness doesn't pull you to possess her. It inspires you to rise beside her. She has become the living example of integration, the union of what was once divided. Her soul is her home now. She moves through life not searching for belonging, but creating it wherever she goes. When storms come, she doesn't crumble. She's faced worse and come out wiser. She knows that life will bring loss, but beneath the waves, there's something untouched, eternal, the self that watches without fear. From that center, she lives. From that center, she loves. And that is the real secret of her power. She is free from the need to be desired, free from the chains of old pain, free from the illusions of who she should be. In that freedom, she becomes beauty itself. Not the beauty of perfection, but the beauty of truth. Her journey is a map for anyone who wants to love consciously, live fully, and become whole. It begins in pain, moves through the shadows, and ends in peace. And so, she walks lightly, unhurried, whole. The world may not always understand her, but it will never forget her. Because wherever she goes, she carries within her the quiet strength of someone who has met herself and finally discovered that she was always enough. Thank you for spending this time with us. Your journey gives life to this space. Stay with us, and together we'll keep exploring, learning, and uncovering the truths that shape the soul. Until next time, take care and see you soon.